Hey everybody, how are you? It's Robin here. Happy Saturday for most of you. How do you like the weekend? How is the weekend for you? I remember when my kids were little, and even now, sometimes the weekends are hard because I just want to relax. I just want some downtime, and my kids are like wanting to do stuff like, what are we doing? Where are we going? And it's like, oh man, I just wanted to rest. I wonder if you feel that way too. I also remember when I was, when my kids were a lot younger, and I was in an office environment with my corporate job, and there'd be like a long weekend, and people on that, the day that you're back to work, people would be like, how was your weekend? I'm like, oh, it was okay. It was actually more work than anything, because I had to come up with stuff to do. We had, it wasn't easy. Anyway, lots of people's needs all on my shoulders is what it felt like. Anyway, so today, welcome. I want to talk to you about how to get your kids out the door on time on a regular basis without yelling, without threatening them, and without tears, your tears, their tears, because I know it happens. So how many times have you tried to get out the door on time and things just go from bad to worse? And by the time you are supposed to be leaving, you are yelling at your kids, you are frustrated, you're angry. How many times do you drop your kids off where everybody in the car is miserable, or you're walking to school and you part ways and you like are so happy that they're gone, right? That they are finally out of your hair, because morning is such a struggle. I know exactly what that's like. And in fact, where I live, we have brand new neighbors. So my old neighbors, I wouldn't even talk to them because I was convinced they knew for sure that I was the worst mom in the world, because we were always yelling at our kids in the garage. Before I knew any better, that's what we did. So I'm going to tell you all about that, because it is really going to help you to peacefully get out the door. And I know that's what you want. Now, I want to tell you though, I am going to talk to you about my membership community, because I have a really exciting community for those of you who are feeling like parenting is not what you thought it was going to be. You're feeling like this is not at all what I expected, and I don't know, what I'm doing, or I feel like I am powerless. I am stressed all the time. And maybe you don't even feel like you can tell other people that you are struggling in so much, or maybe you go through stages where you really struggle and times where you feel really good. Maybe you've got a child who is really high needs, and that's kind of kicking your butt, that you don't know how to get them to stop being at you constantly. I know what it's like to feel like you're failing as a mother. I know what it's like to have a child with big needs and feeling like it was my fault that I made him that way. And I didn't let myself off the hook for a very long time. I thought for sure I did this to my child. And it created a lot of anger, resentment in me. And every time we did something that I thought was bad behavior, I blamed myself again. I'm like, well, I did that. So I spiraled deeper and deeper into depression and into the darkness. And that was no fun. It was awful. So I have a way to help you out of that if you feel that way. If you feel like your child is like there's no help for your child, if you feel like there's no help for you, there is help and there is hope. And I want to help you. So having said all of that, let's talk about how to get out of the house on time. First thing I do when I talk to people about this subject is I ask, how does it make you feel to actually be late? How do you feel when you're late? I usually get answers like anxious and stressed, and I don't want to be judged by the teacher. I don't want my child to miss the bus or be that kid that's always late. I don't want them to be labeled. But then I ask, and I'm really just asking, what would actually happen if you're late? And most of the time people tell me nothing, like not really anything. My boss would understand, or, lots of other kids are late for school. It's really no big deal. The teacher probably wouldn't really mind. So if that's the case, then can you just take a deep breath and step back for a second and just say, okay, this is not the end of the world. So let me just take a breath for a moment, right? Now, I'm going to suggest something here in this moment. I'm going to suggest that actually you try or you purposely be late a few times. Allow yourself to be late. Give yourself permission to not be perfect all the time, because the people who are paying the price is your family, right? And your connection with them. So allow yourself to be late, because it also shows your kids what will happen if you're late. Not a lot. And look, I want you to know that I'm not saying to be disrespectful, because I know a lot of people see lateness as the, epitomizes disrespect. And I'm not saying you do that. I'm just saying that if your family is paying the price of you wanting everybody to get out of the house on time, maybe you could just say, you know what, we're talking minutes here. We're literally talking about minutes. Just a couple of minutes you might be late. Is that worth everybody leaving the house miserable and crying? So, okay. First thing I want you to do, is take a breath in the morning, okay? And I want you to just sort of ground yourself and gather yourself. And then what I want you to do is I want you to see, and don't hate me for saying this, but I want you to see if you can get yourself ready first. I know you're tired. I know you're so tired, but can you take a few extra minutes to get yourself ready? And the reason I'm asking you to do that is I know, because I work with my clients in this way, and I also am a mom myself, I know that when I am organized and I'm ready to go, everything runs more smoothly, right? So what I'm asking you to do with this solution is to put more effort in on the front end, right? On the beginning part of your morning, so that when you leave the house, you have less effort there, so that all of the stuff doesn't devolve and you have, chaos, right? Yelling, screaming, crying, chaos. So if you can get up and get your needs met first and get ready first, then you can be there with your kids for the support that they need. And look, I want you to recognize too that, depending on what your kids' ages are, they do need help and support, right? And they are very distractible too. So if you can be there and have yourself all ready to go, then you can be there to help keep them on track. Okay, now many of you have multiple kids. I also get that too. So you're gonna have to adapt this a little bit depending on how many kids you have and what the dynamic is like in your home. So what I want you to do is I want you to connect with them at every step. Okay, what do they need in terms of support? This is not a time for you to should all over them. I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to say you should be able to get dressed right now. You should be able to do this right now. I don't want you to do any of that. I just want you to go there and look at what they need help with. Do they need help picking out their clothes? Do they need help dressing, brushing their teeth? Be there as much as you can. Okay, and look, I know that within there are lots of different things that can happen. You could, fight about what your child wants to wear. It's not what you want them to wear. They want to wear boots in the summer or shorts in the winter. I totally get that. I want you to pick your battles here, and I want you to allow things that maybe make you a little bit uncomfortable for the peace of the situation, okay? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether or not your child wore boots in the summertime, but it matters the way you made your child feel, because you made them feel bad for thinking that was a good idea, for example, okay? So be there as much as you can. And what you're doing is you are putting your full body, your body and your attention with your child, right? You're there in mind and in body, and you're there to connect with them and request what you need them to do and take them to do those things, right? Take them like, hey, it's time to brush teeth. Come on, let's go together, right? You want to put the toothpaste on yourself, or should I do it for you, right? You want to just be there to help them. And what you're doing here is you're creating a space of acceptance and also patience. for your child to feel fully supported as well. You know, at their young ages, they need your support, right? It's when they start to say, Mom, I want to do it myself, that you can allow them to do it themselves, right? You totally can let them do it themselves. But in the early days, they do need our help. And this is when sometimes we feel freaked out, like, well, they should be able to do this by now. You're 5, you should be able to tie your shoes, do up your jacket. You should be able to, I don't know, whatever else we get our kids, carry your own backpack, all that kind of stuff. But age-wise, developmentally, they actually need our help. So instead of stressing yourself out, stressing your child out, giving them messages that they're not good enough because they can't do what you expect, which causes stress and anxiety, and that leads to behavior that you don't want, be there for them and support them. I am not saying you coddle your child. Your child will say to you, Mom, Dad, I want to carry my own backpack. And you're going to say, yes, absolutely. You're going to carry your own backpack. You go right ahead. Right? Because they're ready now. So with that being said, you're going to be there to really support your child through every step, right? Whatever it is they need. And when you do this, they are going to love the attention that they're getting from you. They're feeling supported and they're getting your attention. Our kids need attention. There's 8 core needs of a child, and attention is one of them. And boy, don't we ever hate that. We blame them, we criticize them, we shame them for needing attention, but they need it. They really do. And so this is a great way to fill their cup in the morning, right? So once you are doing this, right? You are helping them with their breakfast in whatever capacity they need to be helped, and then you help them get their shoes on and you help them get their jackets on, and that's it. You are just there every step of the way. And again, I know that there are times where you've got multiple kids and things are different, but I'm asking you to do this as a general rule, right? Of course, there's going to be different things that come up for you. But this really works. When you connect with your child and make a request and then take them, that is such a great way to get them to do what you're asking, to get them to listen to you the first time. And I'll tell you, it works with my teenagers, and it actually works with me. My husband sometimes has to like cut my face and say, hey, babe, I need you to do this. And I'll be like, oh, yes, hello. And that is how we do it. So doesn't this sound so much better to do it that way than with yelling, threats, screaming, crying, disappointment? And then don't you go away after you've dropped your kids off and feel bad about yourself, like, I should have done it this way. I wish I could just get them to get ready in the morning. I wish I didn't have to yell. And we're full of mixed emotions. We feel bad, we feel angry, we feel disrespected, you know, like, why is it I have to get mad for everyone to listen to me? Don't you want to stop feeling that way? This is how you do it. Yes, it's different. Yes, it's a little bit more work, but guess what? Doing it the way that you've been doing it is uncomfortable. Would you agree? You're already uncomfortable. So try something new that's uncomfortable, but it's going to get you so much more of what you want. That is what I want you to do. So I hope that makes total sense to you. Connect, request, take your kids, be with them in the morning, but get your stuff ready first. Set yourself up for success. So I hope that all makes sense. And now I just really want to talk to you about the community that I have. So it's the Kick-Ass Moms Club. And of course, dads are welcome. I love working with dads. I just put off a call today with a dad, and he's awesome. He wants to be in his kids' lives. He wants to have harmony and peace in his home. And he wants to work on himself to get there, to see things differently. And so I love you, all of you dads, all of you beautiful, wonderful dads. I really do love you. But I also know that 95%, if not 99% of the people who reach out to me, they're moms. So I say kick-ass moms. That's why I say it. So here's what I know. I know there's a lot of you that are struggling, a lot of you who are in pain, who feel ashamed that you are not this perfect mother, that as we have kids, there is this standard that's out there that we feel that we need to reach. But who set that standard? Where did that even come from? And then we feel like we failed, right? We feel like we failed when we haven't reached this standard that I don't even know where that came from. And let's be honest, we don't put a shelf together without instructions. but here is a human being for you to love and care for and keep alive. And also, we need you to make sure that this child has manners, is well behaved, and is going to be successful, is going to thrive in school, and basically, you know, be a doctor, a lawyer, or whatever other expectations we may have. But we're going to do it, and we're going to keep how to do it a secret from every mother out there, every parent out there. We're not really going to tell you how to do it. And we're also not going to tell you that this child is going to trigger you and make you feel like you are a child back when you were being parented. They're going to make you feel insignificant. They're going to make you feel unheard. They're going to make you feel unvalidated. They're going to make you feel trapped, angry, suffocated sometimes. And then what do you do? What do? You don't know what to do, so you yell and you scream and you cry and you shame them, you threaten them, you punish them, and none of it seems to be working. And that's because there's a better way. There's a better way, and I can show you that way. And so the group that I have will help you, because not only is it full of a bunch of amazing parents, they all care, and they wouldn't be a part of this community if they weren't there to support, to give empathy and compassion, and to say, hey, you know what, I'm with you. I know exactly how you feel, and this hurts sometimes, doesn't it? We'll celebrate your successes, but we'll be there for your pain too. And to be there with like-minded mamas and some dads who really do want you to be as successful as possible, that's what it's all about. So in this group, you know, I don't just give you support in that way. I give you tools that you can use immediately. As soon as you sign up, you are given tools right away. And what I do is I really help you to focus on 3 areas of your parenting sphere. One is your child, right? Your child, their behavior, what's going on with them. Because there is always something underneath the behavior. And I ask parents to take the behavior as secondary and look at what's underneath it, because whatever is driving the behavior is what we focus on. And then the behavior, we teach them how to do something different, and teach them and show them what they could have done instead, and what they can do next time. And sometimes that's a lesson we teach over and over again. Then we focus on you and look at why you get so angry. What is your anger and frustration about? What are your triggers? How do we heal your triggers? How do I help you show up differently for your kids? Because when you show up differently for your kids, they show up differently for you. It is amazing. And it only takes, when I work with clients, it only takes about, by the time we're on the 3rd call, for parents to say, well, it was a pretty good week this week. And I'll say, why? And they'll say, well, you know, my daughter was calmer. We didn't have as much frustration. And then I'll say, okay, well, what did you do differently? Well, I listened to her more. I didn't react as much. I didn't do this as much. I'll just say, yes, that's it. That is exactly what you need to do. It is a small adjustment for you, and it takes a short amount of time to get you what you really want. And I want that for you. I want you to have joy and excitement and fun in your family. Let's not forget about fun, right? And play. So there is you and why you get so angry and frustrated, in your triggers. And what do we need to do to take care of you? Because you are the leader of your family. And when you're not okay, nobody's okay. So there is no excuses here around taking care of yourself. It is absolutely mandatory, and we absolutely have to do it. So the other one is nurturing the relationship together. When we take your child and you, and we put the 2 together, so that your child knows without a shadow of a doubt that you are there as their advocate, as their strong, big person who is there to take care of them, and who is going to be there when your child has done something bad or wrong or naughty or is in trouble, and you are just there to say, hey, you know what? I get it. We can all make mistakes, and I'm going to help you work it out. And what that does is that then your child knows that they can come to you no matter what, and they won't be criticized or judged or shamed for making a mistake, right? That's the relationship I want you to build with them, that's built on mutual trust and respect, which, let's be honest, that's what we want as parents, right? We want trust and respect, but it's also based in communication and understanding that's mutual. We're always communicating, and we're always seeking to understand if we don't. That's how that works. And it is powerful. And I'll give you the tools to do that. There's so many different tools. You know, if you have a broken relationship with your child right now, I'll show you how to repair it. If your child is really young, I'll show you how to build it. Okay? It's everything is included in this group. Everything that I teach my one-on-one clients will be in this group. And there are only a few spots left at $32 a month. If you want to go the whole year, you get a 10% discount, so it's $320. And after that, it's $47, which is still a reasonable price. If you break that down over a month, you know, it's a little more than $1 a day, but it's like 2 specialty coffees a week, right? You deserve it. You deserve to have a family that you love and enjoy and want to be around, and not be in a constant tug of war and a battle and be frustrated. You know, I am results focused. I am here to make sure you get the results you want. And that is my promise to you, that I will help you with what it is you need, and I will give you the tools and solutions that are unique to you, by the way. And so let me just wrap up by saying what you get is you get 3 calls with me a month, where I will answer your unique questions. You get the community, this private Facebook group. You get each month a different topic that I'm going to shoot a video training on and give you like written materials on. And you're going to get discounts on courses. If you want to work with me one-on-one, you'll get discounts there too. All of that is at kamomsclub.com, www.kamomsclub.com. So check it out there. You'll see everything there. And I really hope that you will consider investing in yourself and in your family and in your happiness, because that's what matters. That's what matters. Our relationship with our kids doesn't just last from now until they're out of high school. It lasts a lifetime. And don't you want a strong relationship with your kids that lasts forever? I know I do. That is what is really important to me. And I'm sure you do as well, because nothing feels better. We didn't have kids to not be connected to them, you know, to feel like we are frustrated with them all the time. Like, that's just not what we want. So I'm going to leave it here, and I'm going to shoot another video tomorrow or Monday. I've got to figure out my own schedule, and I'll talk to you about bedtime and what it is we need to do to help our kids get to bed a lot more peacefully and without so much frustration. All right, thanks everybody for being here, and I will see you again. Bye for now.